It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say, is even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene. Days go by, it's the bigger love of the family.
I often wonder, as I'm sure most of you people do I ever get milk from the same cow twice? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Safety with Fat Boy. It is Monday night, August 10th. Okay, so as everybody knows, this whole murder investigation with Bernadette Bernes has taken up a lot of time on Safety with Fat Boy. And now that Detective Peter Piper is here, he's taken a lot of the time up with his interviews of everybody, and we want to bring all them interviews to you. But tonight we're going to take it back a notch. Peter Piper is himself taking the night off. So we're going to go back to just talking about, recapping real quick, like for instance, Fat Boy for President 2020, okay? Make America Safe Again, Massa, cleaning up the streets, cuts, Massa cuts. And Fat Boy is very soon going to have his second debate with Hillary Clinton. It's going to be a Massa debate. He's going to have his second debate, Massa debate, with Hillary Clinton, and that's going to be coming up soon too. And Nabi Chang will be the mediator of that debate again. Fat Boy's going to talk about that a little tonight, and a couple of other things. So we can still catch everybody up on what's going on here with everything else besides the murder, besides half of the crew taking off and hiding, and the other half of the crew not wanting to talk to Peter Piper. I mean, everybody's running scared, except for myself, of course. I've talked to the detective now twice, and I'll talk to him again if he wants to. So right now, without any further ado, I'm going to introduce a person that needs no introduction whatsoever. Here's Fat Boy.
Thank you, Big T, for that very beautiful introduction. Welcome to another episode of Safety with Fat Boy. Something very special for you folks tonight. You're very lucky. We're going to be talking to you a little bit about my presidential campaign. We do have the presidential debate coming up between myself and Hillary, the second presidential debate, the Massa debate. We're going to be Massa debating together on camera. Make America Safe Again debate, Massa debate, people. Alright, so Trump is not in the lead in the statistics for the presidential campaign 2020. And why is that? Well, I will tell you folks. So, as I was told the other day by Peter Piper, he said to me, he said, Fat Boy, he said, I really can't do the eyes, but he said, Fat Boy, I don't know how they're going to explain this. Hillary hired Nabi Chang to rig the debates. They're trying to ruin your campaign. That's what he said to me, but he did it with the, I just can't do the eyes. So, what did we do here at Safety with Fat Boy? You know, I was a little bit suspicious. See, and this is not a conspiracy, folks. This is what's really going on. Okay, I was a little bit suspicious, folks, that somebody on the set was trying to sabotage my presidential campaign. Come to find out, it was our very own Nabi Chang. We had no knowledge that Hillary hired her. She just came onto the set, and we thought, oh, what a great fit for the debates, a reporter to be on our set to do these debates with us. So we allowed her to do the show, and we're going to keep allowing her to do the show, because you know what? Since they told you about that, we're going to tell you about how we hired Kanye West to bring down the votes of both Democratic and Republican parties by opening the birthday party. And he has done exactly that by starting his presidential campaign in the birthday party. And we have paid him off with large assets and sons of money. And when he does drop out of the presidential campaign 2020, he will be referring all of his voters to us. So that we've got that for ourselves. So they have brought that down, and Safety with Fat Boy is right there in the league, and it's no longer Republican or Trump's definitely not in the lead anymore. So that's what we got to go. This is not a conspiracy, folks. We paid Kanye to do that. This is not a conspiracy. Speaking of that, Big T has a little bit to talk to you folks about these conspiracies, and he's got a little bug up his butt, a hair up his ass. He's got something in there, and it's rather large that he's going to try to get out. So he's looking a little upset at me right now. I think he wants to say something to you folks about the conspiracies. Not that I brought that up. Okay, so we will be back. Wait a minute. We will be back. Okay. I'm going to turn it back over to Big T. Everybody stay safe and stay fat, America.
Okay, so Fat Boy has now told you a little bit about what he's doing as far as running for president, and he's told you a little bit about what he's going to do, what he's planning on doing if you elect him president 2020. We already know about cleaning up the streets. We already know about making America safe again with massacres. But now, you know, Fat Boy is just, through all this mess that's going on here at Safety with Fat Boy, he's still going full forward with this campaign. And that debate will be coming up real soon between Fat Boy and Hillary. Okay, folks, I want to remind everybody, we want you all to keep on sending in your questions. It could be about anything at all. Keep sending in your questions, because on What Do You Want Wednesday, we'll answer all the questions. And continue on liking. Now, last week, with everybody scattering and people disappearing, as you've seen, Gonti Michelle was not here with Bonati. We did not pull a winner of last Saturday night's video. Everyone who reacts on Saturday night in any way, shape, or form, whether it's a like or a happy face or a heart or whatever, is put in a drawing and has a chance to win a $10 gift card and autograph picture of the crew. We did not pull that name last Thursday night. But this Thursday night, we're going to combine both Saturdays together. So keep on reacting to all the videos, especially on Saturday nights. Keep on commenting, keep on viewing, keep on sharing, keep on liking, keep on and keep on sending in your questions. Okay, folks, so Fat Boy told you now, and yes, I have a couple of problems with a couple of things, and every now and then I'd like to vent here on Safety with Fat Boy. And tonight, I'd like to speak about all you morons and your conspiracy theories. All I see all the time, and I think some of you like to feed into this. I think some of you really like to feed. Some of you really like this drama, because you can't be moronic enough to believe some of the things you're saying. Okay, folks, listen. Kennedy was shot. There's no big conspiracy behind that. Martin Luther King was shot. There's no big conspiracy behind that. Rosa Parks sat on the bus. There's no big conspiracy behind that. There's no big conspiracy behind what's going on today neither. Okay, so stop it. They landed a man on the moon in 1969. Yes, they did. I know it makes a lot of your guys' lives a lot more interesting to you if you can come up with these conspiracy theories. There's not a big conspiracy going on, folks. Everything in the world is not a conspiracy. I know a few people that every single time they post anything at all, it's a conspiracy theory, and they all say the same thing. Open your eyes. Well, listen, folks. Open your eyes. Things are happening in the world that are not false, that are not conspiracies, okay? There is a pandemic going around, whether you want to believe it or not. So, I think most of you now understand that, most of you believe that, but now you want to come up with more conspiracy theories about it, okay? China unleashed this thing, and they were in cahoots with the government, and the Democrats are doing this, so Trump don't get elected. And no, folks, this is not happening. This is a pandemic. It is not something that is anybody's fault, besides maybe China for eating the bats, or cooking the bats. But besides that, there's not a big conspiracy behind it, folks. There's just not. Everything is not a conspiracy. Stop it. Stop it now. It's silly, and it makes you look moronic when you continue on posting about... Now, I know you're going to keep on doing it. I know that. But it makes you look very unintelligent when you think that every single thing that happens in the world is a conspiracy. It's not. If you need to make your life a little more interesting, I have a couple of ideas. Go do it on your own time and stop trying to convince everybody else that there's something behind everything that happens. All I ever see are posts with, open your eyes. Everyone's eyes is open, folks. If you believe what you're saying, then 3/4 of the world are the morons. 3/4 of the world are morons if you believe what you're saying. Isn't it much more likely that the 1/4 that wants to make up all these stories are the morons and not the people who don't believe that every single thing that happens is a conspiracy? It's just not happening, folks. Also, stop being offended by things. Stop being offended. Listen, if you don't like this show, if you don't like this kind of humor, if you don't like, that's fine. Move the fuck out of the way and let a person who does like it move up, okay? Stop being offended by every fucking thing that happens in this fucking world. Everything is not to get offended over, folks, okay? You don't like the word fuck, you don't like this, you don't like sex on the internet, you don't like... Wonderful. Shut the fuck up and move on with your lives. Stop being offended by every goddamn thing that happens in the world. Stop it. It's ridiculous, okay? If somebody says something about me because I'm white or because I'm German, I'm going to laugh about it, folks. Stop thinking that every single time something's said about a Mexican or a Jew or a black man or a Puerto Rican man or anyone else that's something to be offended by. Stop tearing down the statues. That's ridiculous, okay? Stop thinking that every single time somebody dies in police custody, there's a big conspiracy going on with the police. Okay? Stop it. Stop. All you're doing is stirring the pot. You're a pot stirrer. Okay? You're stirring the pot. That's all you're doing. You know you're doing it. Your lives are so unentertained that you have to do this to Listen, I have an idea. If every single person would go out and get a fucking job, maybe they would have less time to sit home and come up with these ridiculous things that they put on the internet. It's ridiculous. Now, some people may be looking at this saying, well, this show is ridiculous. I'm going to block that. Oh, that's another thing. Stop blocking people every 2 fucking seconds and then unblocking them again the next day. Again, makes you look moronic. Stop it. Every single thing that happens that you don't like doesn't mean you have to fucking block something. Stop it. You don't have to block people. You don't have... Listen, if you have no sense of humor, then don't watch any fucking comedy. Don't watch this show. Don't watch that show. Don't listen to this if you have no sense of humor. Okay? But don't push that off on other people. If you have no sense of humor and all you want to do is sit there and try to convince everybody in the world that every single fucking thing that happens ain't true, do it. Do it on your own fucking time, though. Stop bothering the normal people with this ridiculousness, because that's exactly what it is. Oh, I've got evidence. Oh, I've got evidence. What did you do? Ask fucking Google? That's not evidence, folks. That's not evidence. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Also, listen. You cannot blame anyone who's in the world today for what happened 1,000 fucking years ago, okay? Let's live in this time, okay? And let's, again, stop trying to turn people against each other and stop trying to... everything that happens isn't a conspiracy. I know I'm not going to convince you all of this because you got pea-brains, because you're morons. That's why I'm not going to convince you with this. If you want to listen to me and you want to say, you know what, he's right, that makes your life that much more uninteresting. So you're not going to listen to me when I say this, okay? But I'm letting you know, it makes you look like a fucking moron. Stop it. Stop it. You think what we do here, let me tell you something, the Three Stooges, the Three fucking Stooges to this day is a hit to a lot of people. They acted like morons. What we do here is comedy, folks. It's comedy, whether you like it or not. I have an idea. Stop insisting a man didn't walk on the moon. You start watching our show and laughing, okay? Laugh a little bit, okay? Get out of your fucking house. I know one person that when this all started, couldn't believe that the jobs were making them go to work with this big pandemic. But now that they want you to go back to work, this same person is saying, oh, it's a conspiracy, there's no pandemic. Listen, stop it, folks, okay? It's annoying, just stop it. Tomorrow night, folks, we're going to have another episode of Safety with Fat Boy. Hopefully soon we'll get everybody back who has disappeared from Safety with Fat Boy. Okay? Del Bell and Tyrone and Bri and Gonti Bichelle, even Krispy Kreme, who was only here a couple of days, has now disappeared. I want everybody to join us tomorrow night for another episode of Safety with Fat Boy. Pibbity, 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 popcorn player. Everybody have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow.